did I cause a crash during a full course caution because I suck as a pace car driver. Every guy has their thing that they want to cross off. Most of us have 20 or 40 things that we want to cross off our bucket list, but one of mine was to drive a pace car. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my weird relationship with authority in that, I have a respect for authority, yet I spend all my time trying to figure out how to break laws and get away with it. Maybe it was just the realization that I'm never going to be good enough, or should I say rich enough, to go professional racing. So this was maybe an opportunity to do it in another way. That, or I just like pace cars because they're super cool. Because if you look back at racing and all the different pace cars they prep, they're always some sweet version of a street car. The CLK 63 Black Series was a pace car originally, and all the Indy 500 pace cars that they built, the Ram truck and the Viper and the Corvettes and stuff like that. There's always really cool pace cars. And I guess I've always thought that would just be something awesome to do. I had kind of forgotten about it as a goal until one day one of my friends that I know through Lemons Racing, who also kind of runs all of the Trans Am Series events, texted me and said, "Hey, would you like to drive the pace car for the Trans Am race on August 11th at Mid-Ohio? Because it's your home track. Like, our regular driver can't make it, and thought you'd like to do that." I was like, well, we're going to Maine that week, so I would have to come back from family vacation a couple days early to do that. And she goes, "Oh, well, do you know anyone else that would be interested and qualified?" And I texted back, I'm like, "No, I don't think you understand. We'll have to come back from vacation a couple days early to do it." Yes, heck yes, I'm in. Are you kidding me? But it takes about an hour and a half to get to Mid-Ohio. It was early in the morning, and I was so excited to get there that I think I made it in about 45 minutes. That would be an exaggeration for most people, but y'all know how fast I drive. Everybody showed up. I got the briefing. I met one of the previous pace car drivers, and he kind of walked me through some of the protocol, and then just did the usual car guy thing. Walked around the paddock and looked at all the different cars for the different series. And there was a sweet tricked out Civic Type R that was the official pace car for the big series. And I'm like, sweet, do I get to drive that? Like, nope, you get the Mid-Ohio instructor car, their in-house pace car that was a Acura. But I didn't really care. I was a little disappointed, but it had slicks and it had strobe lights on it. And I love playing with strobe lights. So it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm here. I'm not going to complain. It'd be cool to drive the Civic Type R, but I'll take whatever you give me. So we finally get lined up and get our radios on and everything like that, and go out into the hot pits. Kim is explaining all the stuff that I have to know and all the instructions I'm going to get over the radio. And there's 2 different channels. There's one just from the control tower telling me what to do. Then I'm also going to hear all the other shenanigans that are going on. And she essentially said, just listen to me, because I'll have all this communication as well, and I'll tell you what to do. Because they're going to tell you to go 45 miles an hour, 55. They're going to tell you the speed. I'm going to tell you what actual speed to go, because the tower has no clue what to do. They just pick arbitrary speeds. I get to be in control, and I get to break the rules already. This is shaping up to be a great day. So we get out there, and of course, the last time this car was run, it was run at full bore, and so the tires are all chunky, but I don't have a chance to get them warmed up. When I go out, I have to just go out. And anybody that's driven on slicks that were hot and got all the rubber chunks on them and then got cold knows that you go out and it's like, you think the wheels are stinking falling off, and there's so much rubber that they're out of balance and everything. It's an awful sensation, but you got to go out and do your thing. It seems really easy. Oh yeah, just go 55 miles an hour, maintain 55 miles an hour around this track. no big deal, right? No, it's a big deal because 55 miles an hour in some of the near hairpin corners on a bone stock Acura TLX just with slicks is very difficult to do. And it's made even more difficult when the cars behind you are capable of taking that corner at 100 miles an hour, and they really want to be, and every single driver is pissed off that he's not going 100 miles an hour, and they're doing this up on you, going like this, dive bombing you, stuff like that. And she told me, she goes, listen, don't pay any attention to anything the drivers are doing. You drive your line, you're in control. Even if they come up beside you, they're doing that just to mess with you. Just drive your line. If they hit you, it's their fault. Easier said than done, but okay, I can do that. So it went fine. Did the out lap and got everybody going and got to play with strobe lights and came in and just waited for somebody to crash or do something stupid. And I think I've never wanted crashes to happen more than every NASCAR fan ever. But yeah, we sat there just waiting for something to happen. I was super excited because there was one incident in the race, only one, unfortunately, but I was like, all right, we get to go. Strobe lights on, let's roll. The crazy thing was, I didn't, I guess, get all of the communication, but while I was out there, apparently there was somebody who was a lap down. And so during the full course caution, they were supposed to come by us and pick up their lap to get at the back of the field again, because they had to kind of reorder some people. Because when they throw the full course caution, people get out of order, and then you have to say, okay, well, this person's supposed to be behind that person because they passed after the caution, stuff like that. But this guy had to get his extra lap. And I was not entirely clear that that was happening because, again, we have two different radio transmissions going on. And we were going into the right-hander after the back straight, and I guess I didn't know he was coming. So I may or may not have caused a situation that was confusing to other drivers. And I didn't see this happening because, again, I'm not watching my mirrors. She said, just drive your line. But a crash happened behind me while I'm driving the pace car. Not a bad crash, but apparently the lead car and this guy who was trying to get around made contact. Again, I didn't know all of this was transpiring at the time. I just kind of knew that I was surprised by him coming around, and immediately I'm going, oh crap, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? She's like, no, you're fine, just keep going. Finish the caution lap until we have to go back in. So we go back in and sit and wait at the exit to the pits and hoping another full course caution will happen so I can go out again, but it didn't. The only other thing that was super exciting was apparently I didn't pull forward all the way into my box, and so I was crowding the pit box of the lead driver, who she warned me was incredibly aggressive, and he would drive like a jerk with me doing the pace car, and he would be the one coming up, on me. They can't pass the pace car, but they'll come up to my door, to my wheel, do all this stuff. And when he pulled out of his pit lane, because I was crowding him, he just dropped the clutch and friggin' did a burnout and drifted by me and almost hit my car, to the point where the workers and stuff were coming up and looking at it and kind of like joking around about it. And we got out afterwards and looked at the marks, and they were, the bumper was here, the marks for his rear tires were inches off. And he did that just to be a jerk. So it was definitely a lot of things to learn, because they're always messing with you, challenging your authority, things like that. But the most scary thing was, did I cause a crash during a full course caution because I suck as a pace car driver? And thankfully they have videos of everything. And they were, she kind of walked me through what had actually happened after we were done doing the pace car stuff and filled me in on the details of why it happened and what was supposed to happen and everything. So I'm like, well, was it my fault? She goes, no, I don't think so, but we'll find out soon enough. They've got in-car video of all the cars and everything like that. So thankfully I found out in fairly short order that after they had reviewed the video, the lead driver, who was being a jerk to me, was also being a jerk to the other guy, and they had some feud or something, so he cut in on him when he was coming around to catch up on the lap. So it was deemed not to be my fault, which was good, because that would not be the legacy nor the memory of my bucket list thing that I would want. That would be like kicking the bucket over. So thankfully I had a clean slate and figured, well, at least I won't be banned from Trans Am forever for being the guy who caused a wreck on the caution lap.
We'd like to thank this month's VINwiki sponsor, Carly, and their connected car system. Their OBD device plugs into just about any car, 96 and newer, and gives you unprecedented access to exactly what's going on with your car. You get not only diagnostic codes to see exactly what's faulting, which tends to be a lot in my case, but you can also do different coding to certain cars, particularly BMW and Volkswagen products. So visit the link in the description below and you can use the code VINwiki for a discount. They'll tell you exactly what their device can do on your specific car, but at the very least it works as the best OBD scanner that I've ever seen. I usually end up just buying the cheap ones at Advanced Auto Parts and then inevitably losing them. This one works with an app on your phone, it checks everything, and I don't have to go Google the code, it tells you exactly what it is. And so I've liked playing around with it the last few weeks. I'm going to keep one with me on all my road trips coming up, but be sure to check them out and try one out for yourself.